Hey, what's up? I'm Zoe. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my wrap up. So I have some r.e.m beauty that I got recently. I thought that I would try it out here. I have a lipstick, which honestly, I think this is one of my new go-to colors. Highlighter topper, I don't know, it's the green one. I wanted the purple one, but they didn't have it, so I got the green. I have this Rare Beauty blush also. I've been hearing so many things about this blush. I don't know if this is like the perfect color, but this is like all they had, so I just got it. It's called Joy. I did a list, and I have it on my phone, of all of the books that I read, and hopefully I'm not forgetting anything. But I feel like every single time I do a wrap up, I forget a book. First up, we have Kingdom of the Curse. I did a full video on me reading this book and me kind of coming to the conclusion that it was not, oh my god, it was not looking good for me, and I ended up DNFing this book. This is the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked, that's what it's called, and I mean, because it's a sequel, what really can I tell you if you haven't read the first book? I guess I didn't like that the book had too many words. And when I say it has too many words, I mean that quite literally. Like, it just felt like the author was saying too much. We were repeating dialogue that we literally have gotten every 3 chapters. And everything could have been summed up by now, and I'm like, how many times do we have to go through? Like, for example, feelings being established. We already understand that you like each other. We understand that you're attracted to each other. Why are we still talking about this? And even just other plot points outside of like romance or anything, it just felt like there was no progress. And so yeah, I DNF'd it. Next we have Let Me Love You. This is a romance. This is a black romance, actually. Let me be specific, because I feel like I'm mixing this up with another story, but I can't tell. Because I can see it, but I'm like, is it for sure that she has? I know he has kids. She meets this rapper. She like somehow catches his attention, and he's like the biggest rapper in the South, and like, actually I think his name is South. Because I remember finding that very hot. I was like, ooh, his name is South? That sounds sexy. I don't know. I mean, I think that this story was pretty good. It's just that I had a very hard time with his fascination with her freckles, because I felt like every single time he saw her, he was obsessed with her freckles. And I guess as someone who has freckles, and my mom has freckles, like, you know, I know a lot of people who have freckles. I'm like, is it that fascinating to find a person who has freckles? Some of the drama that happened, a lot of it just kind of felt like, I don't know, too much. It was cute when it was cute, and then I don't know, I wasn't as into it the full way through as I thought I would be. Would I read any more in this series? Probably not. Through the Woods, which is like a picture book. It was actually kind of creepy. But I'm also a scaredy cat. Maybe don't take my word for it on if it's really scary. I don't know what really to say about this. It was like a bunch of stories put together, and I just thought it was really cool. I definitely will probably read it again around Halloween, you know, when I want to get into spooky vibes. So I have this r.e.m Beauty eyeshadow. It's very basic, of course, but definitely something that I can use every single day, which made the purchase worth it. So I'm just gonna do a very basic look with this and call it the day. This is called Baby Doll. Next, we have The Rebound. Now this was an ARC that I received from NetGalley, a book about a girl who, you know, she's fired from her job, will let go. Her fiance calls off their engagement, and she has to go home to, ooh, where does she go home to? Ireland, I think. And while she's there, she's keeping it a secret that anything happened. Like, she's trying to keep it from her family. She runs into her old childhood best friend and the boy who lives next door, and now he is like insanely hot, and as most stories like that go. I really enjoyed this book. What it is I think it's the writing that I really liked. It's also just the energy, the banter, just I liked the female lead. I felt like I could understand her struggles and just her reactions to things and just her genuine, you know, like she went out, she left the small town in Ireland, she went out and went to New York, she went to school, she got the big job in the big city, had the big penthouse apartment, found the perfect fiance. And so coming home, I can imagine that that's like one of those things where you're like, I really don't want to let you know that this did not work out for me. I liked her chemistry with the main guy, whatever his name was. I don't know, I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was really, really fun. A Winter's Promise. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one was on my TBR for a really, really, really long time. But this is about this world where all of their like countries and land are like floating. Family clans kind of. And this girl, she is very plain Jane. And she works in the library or museum or something. She like can read words or something. I don't know, she has some type of reading talent. Pretty much she's like the ugly, unnoticed, just not like other girls, literally type. And she was kind of frustrating, I remember in the beginning, because I was just kind of like, girl, can you cooperate for like 5 seconds? Stop being difficult. Come on, get yourself a pair of new shoes. You have a hole in your shoe, okay? Just get the pair of new shoes. So she's in an arranged marriage, the toughest of the clans, the toughest ones. So everyone's a little fearful when they find out who she's getting married to, someone from this clan, and they're like, wait a second, that can't be right, because how could this arrangement have happened? How could people allow this to happen? They never arrange a marriage between these two clans. Like this is unheard of. And she goes with a chaperone, and I don't know, it was interesting. It was interesting. There's like an ulterior motive to them wanting her specifically to marry into their family, and you do find that out. It was a little tough to get through. I'm not gonna lie to you. She constantly was like breaking rules and stuff, but I just didn't understand why she was taking those risks. It just didn't make sense to me, and I was just kind of like, why can't you just like sit there? I don't know, you didn't really seem that adventurous before you got there, but now all of a sudden your Miss Curiosity can't stay where she is and mind her own business. Like, now we're all in situationships because of you. The love in A Winter's Romance, not A Winter's Romance, A Winter's Promise, saw potential there. I saw it in the words, and so I kind of got excited. I was like, oh my gosh, romance. But I just feel like they just didn't follow through in the way that I feel like they should have, and I don't know if they will in the future books, because I feel like we just kind of like got there and then got pulled right back out of it. And I guess we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know. I'm not in a rush to read any more of the books, because as much as I might have loved certain moments of this story, the overall feeling towards it is just not, no, absolutely not. So we have The Midnight Library. I feel like I've seen so many people talk about this book and just like kind of either rave about it or rant about it. Kind of fall in a good middle ground of that. I think at first I kind of found it intriguing. Actually, what was this book about? I feel like this book was more of like a self-help book with plot than anything, but I did get bored with it probably about a fourth of the way through it. I just was like, oh my god, is this over yet? I have another very popular read, Milk and Honey, poetry collection that I'm sure you've probably seen everywhere. I feel like over the years it has just, its longevity is amazing, because I remember this being popular like back on Tumblr. There were some lines in some of the poems that I thought were really good. Kind of in the sense that like if I had a physical copy of it, I probably would have highlighted it and been like, oh, this is a really nice line. Keep in mind, I'm saying line. I feel like I always try and dabble into poetry. It doesn't click for me. I haven't met a poetry collection that really... Are you supposed to like the whole book though? That's my thing. Cause like sometimes I like certain poems and I'm like, oh my gosh, this little section was really good. But then like the rest of it will deal with something else and I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. Next we have The Hunting Party. This is by Lucy Foley. I don't know why I always remember that so easily, and everything else I can't remember at all. So so boring. I just could not get into it. It kind of just didn't ever catch my attention, and I felt like I had already read this story. It felt very similar to the last Lucy Foley book I read. It also felt very similar to Ruth Ware's One by One, and I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't my favorite, just know that. Sweat and Soap. So this is a manga series that I love. I've read this for a while. I just think it's such a good, healthy representation of a relationship, especially one when you're like in your later 20s. So I just think it's really cool and healthy, and like it has good portrayals of like sex and just communication, and I just think that's really, really great to see even in manga form. I need to finish it. I was on a roll for a second there and then I fell off. I thought that I only had like 1 or 2 to read, but it turned out that I had a lot more. I really don't know how to use this. Okay. I saw some people putting like their blush like here, and I thought it was so cute. So Twisted Love is like new adult, and I mean, it's like, okay, this one dealt with like an obsessive lover, and to be quite honest with you, I don't think I'm into this level of obsession. I mean, I like overprotective, I guess is what I like. I don't like obsessed. I don't enjoy it. I don't think it's attractive. It makes me want to fight the main guy because I'm just like, can you like shut up ever? So that's why I ended up DNFing this story. I don't know if I'll check out any of the other Twisted stories. Maybe if they aren't obsessed lover. The Governor's Game is a historical romance that I started after watching Bridgerton. I was very in the mood to still be, you know, in that era, that vibe. And so I started reading a historical romance. I'd never even talked about it in my vlog because I got so distracted by so many things happening, but it was a really, really cute story. I really liked the chemistry. I liked the playfulness of the story. Actually, I think that this was like perfect because those were all of the books that I had to talk about. Oh yeah, the fucking topper. Listen, because I'm like, where, like, oh. Oh. I finished my makeup and finished talking about all of the books that I had to talk about. So I think that that is kind of a success right there. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and let me know any of the books that you've been reading over the past few months, or any books that you are looking forward to reading anytime soon. And I hope you have a really great reading month. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on alerts so you don't miss new videos, and that is everything. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!
Only live into dreams, baby.